one of the world's oldest Bibles. Okay, Ethiopian Bible is oldest and most complete on earth. All right, so this is fascinating. Okay, so he's holding it here. Check this out. It says, world's first illustrated Christian Bible discovered at Ethiopian monastery. The world's earliest illustrated Christian book has been saved by a British charity which located it in a remote Ethiopian monastery. The incredible Garima Gospels are named after a monk who arrived in the African country in the 5th century and is said to have copied them in just one day. So that's like the lore about it, right? Beautifully illustrated. The colors are still vivid, and thanks to Ethiopian Heritage Fund has been conserved. Abba Garama arrived from Constantinople in 494 AD. Legend has it he was able to copy the Gospels in a day because God delayed the sun from setting. So this is kind of like some of the folklore around it, right? And this is beautiful. The incredible relic has been kept ever since the Garama Monastery near Adwa in the north of the country, which is the Tigray region at 7,000 feet. Experts believe it is also the earliest example of bookbinding still attached to the original pages. The survival of the Gospels is incredible considering the country has been under Muslim invasion, Italian invasion, and a fire in the 1930s destroyed the monastery's church. They were written on goatskin in the early Ethiopian language of Giz. There are 2 volumes which date from the same time, but the second is written in a different hand from the first. Both contain illustrations and the 4 Gospels. Though the text had been mentioned by occasional travelers since the 1950s, it had been thought they had dated from the 11th century at the earliest. So they thought they were from the 11th century, but it's actually much earlier than that. Carbon dating gives the dates between 330 and 650. This is incredible. The first volume could be in his hand, even if he didn't complete the task in the day, as the oral tradition states. That's another thing about the Bible, folks, to understand is we're talking about oral tradition cultures and not our modern cultures. These are folks that were passing down this information in oral traditions, right? It was also incredibly rare to access the text, so experts can conserve them on site. It is now hoped that the Gospels will be put in a museum at the monastery where visitors will be able to view them. Blair Pride from the Ethiopian Heritage Fund said Ethiopia has been overlooked as the source of these fantastic things. Many of these old Christian relics can only be reached by hiking and climbing to remote monasteries, as roads are limited to these mountainous regions. All work and sex has been done and everything is reversible, so the future they can be taken away from further conservation. We won't have hindered that. The pages had been crudely stitched together in a restoration in the 1960s, and some of the pages won't even turn, and they were falling to pieces. So it's dope that they put together this entire, they re-put it together. So